Hey everybody, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Now, just to let you know, I'm trying to make these videos shorter. If they're not, then I apologize for that. Obviously, there's certain messages that need to be relayed to you. So I don't really have control over the length as such, but I'm doing my best to shorten them a little bit, as I feel that many users would prefer that, or rather, as I feel that many of you guys will prefer shorter videos, right? So, just to let you know, I'll be using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck to give you an insight as to what the Shadow Self is revealing at this time. Then to gain more insight, I'll be using the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then clarifying with the Intuitive as always. So let's just get stuck in, shall we, and see what it is that the Shadow Self wants to reveal to you at this time, in the very end of December. And of course what you've been dealing with between, since the full moon in the middle of the month until now. So what is it that Sagittarius' Shadow Self revealing at this time? What is it that needs healing and addressing in December 2019? Okay, first up is obsession. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll look at that in just a moment. I always pull at least two cards, usually two cards, from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck in order to get a better picture of what it is that you're contending with. Because it's never just one thing in isolation, right? So if if I'm pulling two cards, I can better see what it is that you're facing. Okay. So the second card is blinded to pain here. Interesting. Alright, so let's begin with the obsession card then. As you can see, we have an elven female type character here, holding some kind of light, almost looks like a mirror. And what this card represents is longing that turns into obsession, where we're fixated on the things that once were, the things that could have been, the things that we hope to be, what was lost and we want to regain. It's this type of energy of not being able to settle with things as they are, wanting something or needing something to the point where we are fixated on this particular thing. It could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be, it could be an object, it could be anything pretty much. It could be pretty much absolutely anything. The obsession really does mean that. It means not being able to let go, not being able to remove our focus from whatever it is that we're desperately seeking or desperately wanting or feeling we need, right? So it's that kind of energy where often it can start, particularly if it's in relation to a person, it can start very sweet and playful, and there can be a lot of love there, but when it crosses over into obsession, then it becomes something else. Then it becomes a fixation, a need. It crosses the line to the point where it's no longer lighthearted and playful and coming from an appreciative, loving space. It comes from, low frequency, attachment kind of energy, right? The need to, cling on to something with an iron grip and make it yours. It's that kind of energy. So next you have blinded to pain. Sorry, I've got a cold still, so bear with me. Blinded to pain. Okay, this talks about ignoring red flags, ignoring the signs of abuse or neglect or disregard or disrespect or pain, essentially. ignoring what it is that's bringing you pain, ignoring what it is that's causing great misery, upset, unhappiness, that's clouding your vision, right? It's choosing to turn a blind eye to something that you know is causing you pain, you know that is having a negative impact on you in some format, that's negatively impacting your environment, those around you, you know, your work life, your health, you know, love situation, whatever it is. This is willful ignorance. This is choosing to turn a blind eye to something, even though it causes you much distress or much pain, right? The hurt is there, the suffering is there, and you're aware of it and you feel it, but you're choosing to prolong the pain, right? You may be enabling a situation or a person, right? At the expense of your own happiness, at the expense of your own health or sanity, right? So it's that kind of energy as well. So when you couple these two, it paints a very dark picture, actually, Sagittarius. What I feel like for some of you, this is in relation to a connection of some kind that has become beyond toxic, to the point where you're so in love with this person, you care so much about this person, that you're willing to sacrifice yourself utterly to this connection. And that is very dangerous. I mean, this screams of abuse, and particularly emotional abuse at least. So if this is the situation you find yourself in at this time, you really need to, you know, reconsider how you approach this, because, you know, the consequences can be really bleak, okay? So it's important that you don't remain in this energy, that, you know, if this is where you're at, that you make a get out, okay? Because this isn't a space that you can be sitting in for long, okay? This is going to have many impacts on you and those around you at this time. So it's important that you don't allow this to just be your reality, okay? For those of you where you're kind of projecting, I feel like some of you are projecting your insecurity, your lack of self-worth onto another or onto a situation in order to avoid addressing these wounds from your past, this traumatic experience that led to you having some self-doubts, questioning your worth, or toxic behaviors that you've adopted from traumatic experiences growing up. And because of that, you then project them onto others, and you project your ideals and your wants and your you know, your perfect picture onto someone else that can never fulfill what it is that you are envisioning for them, right? And your obsession with that perfect picture, your obsession with making them fit the bill, is causing you a lot of pain, but it's also probably causing them upset at least, okay? So it's important to be aware of that if you are doing that, and to really backpedal, take some time away and really process what it is that you're doing and understand where that comes from, you know, why you're projecting onto this person. For some of you, it would be a case of you are willing to do anything at any cost to get to where you want to be. So I feel like some of you, it's more in relation to a career path or some kind of, you know, dream that you have, right? Where you're willing to sacrifice anything pretty much to make it happen. And while those people tend to be the ones that do make it happen, it can come at a great cost to yourself and those you care about. So that's a very dangerous path to be walking if that is you, Sagittarius, okay? So these are the 3 different scenarios that I see playing out from this energy, okay? From what the energy I'm getting from these cards. So just take it however it resonates. If none of that resonates, that's fine. You can check out one of the other videos, because that may be more relevant, particularly as you'll have other signs in your chart placement. So just take a look at your sun, moon, rising in particular, and maybe one of the other videos will be more relevant. Okay, so I'm going to go in and start gaining more insight with the tarot to see what kind of scenarios have been playing out for you at this time. And see if we can provide you some clarity and guidance as to what needs to be considered in order to move forward and come out of this space. Okay. Oh, that came flying out. That was very, very clear, that one. Okay. Boom. Alright. So to begin with, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is talking about divine timing, right? Knowing you're a window of opportunity when you see it, okay? The placements coming together, things moving together in tandem in order to create that perfect window of opportunity, and feeling like it's never gonna come, feeling like no matter what you do and how much you sacrifice in order to make it happen, it just doesn't seem to come together. You know, you're like, I've put so much work in, I've put so much time in, resources, energy, love, attention, and it's still not happening. Why is this not coming together? That's what I'm getting from this so far. But we will clarify, as I said, afterwards, once I've gone through all the cards. So your next card is Page of Cups in reverse, okay? So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It could be that you feel like this love interest that you have your eye on, for those of you where it is a love connection that's turned toxic, or that is becoming toxic through to your own projections. You know, you feel like the love that you're desperately seeking is not coming to you. This person is not offering what it is that you want them to. Or rather, you feel like you can't offer it because maybe you feel like they're not seeing your worth. They're not seeing you for who you really are, okay? And because of that, they're not willing to offer you this cup of love, or this at least opportunity to grow something that may form into a relationship. But for the majority of you where it is a romantic connection, I feel like it's more about you know, you're not gaining what it is that you want, okay? You're not getting the emotional fulfillment, you're not getting the love offer that you hoped you would from this person. For those of you where it's a case of you're dealing with your dreams, you're trying to make some kind of ambition come to life, you feel like no matter how much you offer, it's just not going to come together, and that, you know, even if it does come together, is it all that I will hope for? Is it going to be it, basically? You know, I'm not going to be shortchanged in some way, so that, you know, after all the work that I've put in, I'm actually just going to be feeling like it was pointless, feeling really deflated and upset, right? Because it didn't come together as I imagined, and, you know, I only got so far with it and not all the way. So next you have Judgment, okay? So this card is very, very pivotal to you right now, Sagittarius. This really discusses whatever you sow, you will reap, okay? So whatever you're putting your time and energy into, particularly with this energy here with blinded pain and obsession, the more you feed into this space, right, this low frequency energy, right, the more you feed into that, the more toxic the situation will become, and the more of you'll see more undesirable outcomes as a result, right? If you operate in this energy, if you're coming from a place of lack and you know, being ungrateful and you know, jealous or anything like that, any of those more negative, uglier emotions, you're gonna reap really unpleasant circumstances, right? There's gonna be you know, situations playing out that you're going to be like, what the hell, how did I even get here? Like, this is so far removed from what I wanted, right? And that's because of this, because you're putting out that energy, so that's what you'll attract. So it's very important that you change this, okay, that you address where this comes from. Next, you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this really talks about, you know, seeing things clearly for what they really are, the truth being revealed, okay, realizing why things aren't coming together in the way you hoped, you know, and taking accountability where needed, right? Because you're playing a part in this circumstance, whether it's, you know, there are other parties involved, usually there will be, depending on the situation, but it's recognizing the hand you play in this and what you are actively manifesting with this energy here, you know. So it's being honest with yourself as much as, you know, things coming to your awareness and people communicating honestly why they believe, you know, they can't offer you what it is that you want, or why it's not coming together. And then next you have the Five of Pentacles. So being left out in the cold, feeling neglected, abandoned. Like I said, particularly because it's under the Sun of Cups in reverse here, the Page of Cups. I feel like you're feeling a sense of, I'm being abandoned, I'm being disregarded. My dreams and my ambitions are not being taken seriously. You know, my dreams are being trodden all over, right? And that makes you feel, you know, really sad, to the point where you could feel like you're suffering, you know, because it means that much to you, and you feel like, you know, everyone's just treading over it like it's nothing, right? Particularly, again, where this applies in a romantic sense, or if you are in a relationship that's become very toxic, you know, you feel like it doesn't matter what you do, this person just does not reciprocate your feelings. They don't even try to show you love, and then in fact they just either completely ignore you, or they trample all over your feelings and make you feel worthless, right? Which is horrific, right? That's not the kind of relationship you want to be in, Sagittarius, if that does apply, you know. So if it has become abusive, you need to get out, okay? That's the only time in a relationship where I'll say to people, no, just walk, okay? You need to walk. When it gets into this kind of territory, it's already going way too far down a dark path, okay? You need to start thinking about your getaway, okay? Because this is very toxic, you know, and it can be very, very damaging for you. Even if it doesn't get violent, the emotional abuse, the neglect, you know, mind games, things like that is very damaging to a psyche, okay? And it's very much has a spiritual connotation as much as it does a psychological or an emotional one, okay? It affects you on all levels, so it's really important that you do get yourself out of that situation if that's the case, okay? So then finally you have the Strength card, Leo energy. Could be that you're dealing with a Leo here. You could have Leo in your chart also, because bearing in mind fire, you could have a lot of fire in your chart, Sagittarius. But this situation is requiring a hell of a lot of strength, that's for sure. Particularly with it being under judgment here, you're being called upon to act from a place of strength. You know, believe in your power, believe in your worth. Not come from a place of lack or self-doubt or self-pity or a victim mentality. You need to be the lion, you need to stand tall, you need to rise above the challenge, right? You have to understand where this is coming from, what's perpetrating it. You know, if this is you projecting, where is that coming from? What do I need to do to change it? What work must be done, right? If this, like I said, if you're in a toxic relationship, this is you finding the strength to leave the situation, all right? And take the help that will come in and be available to you at that time. For those of you where you're trying to manifest your dreams and feel like it's not coming together, then you're going to have to take a new approach, and it's going to take a lot of strength and determination on your part to make it happen, right? So there's going to be a lot of reflection either way, however this situation plays out for you. So, okay, let's go in and clarify then. Let's get more insight as to what's happening here. But I think we already have a good idea of what is being communicated at this time for you, Sagittarius. I know it's quite heavy, but it's really important that we do this, so that for those of you who need to hear this message, don't get stuck within this space, right? Because as I said, it's very toxic. However this applies, right? So let's just get a bit more insight, and then we can wrap up the reading for you. All right. So to clarify the Three of Wands in reverse here. Oops, just put my cards back. We have the Sun in reverse, more Leo energy, but flipped, and the Hierophant in reverse, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. It's like the reason why whatever it is that you're trying to manifest isn't coming together, that window of opportunity is not here, is because you're not operating from the right space. You cannot attract this abundance, this joy, if you are not lining yourself with these energies. The universe is calling you to step up to the plate, you know, and don't rely on what it is you're projecting on others to make it happen, but be of that energy yourself, right? Become what it is that you're trying to attract, you know. If you want something stable and loving, become that, okay? If you want something that's aligned to your vision, okay? Think about the people and the traits of the person who would be operating in that space, right? What is it that's required of them in order to be successful in whatever it is that you want to do? If it's a case of, you know, wanting to walk away from a connection, you know, or, you know, recognizing the person isn't seeing your value and isn't giving you what you wanted, it's having the strength to move towards something that is more aligned, or that people do towards people who do recognize your worth and that uplift you rather than bring you down, and having the strength of character to know when to walk away. All right. So to clarify, the Sun of Cups then in reverse here, which is the Knight of Cups. You have the Strength card again. So even more Leo energy. I feel like Leo is very important to you in this read. I mean, obviously that's not going to be the case for everyone, but for someone, Leo comes in very strongly. Okay, so you may have Leo in your chart, or there's someone significant to this situation that is Leo or has strong Leo energy. Okay, strength again, you know, knowing your self-worth, knowing the importance of self-love, so you're not relying so heavily on the love of others all the time. Okay, knowing that, you know, what you want to make happen in life, it takes time. There's going to be setbacks, particularly if it's in regards to a dream, a vision, right? There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be people saying no and putting the door in your face. So it's having the strength to overcome that, still get up and still move towards what it is that you're trying to achieve here. Emperor energy in reverse. So we've also got Aries here. You know, recognizing that that this person, for those of you in a relationship with potentially an Aries or a Leo, that this person is not your emperor. You thought they are. You see them as the emperor, but they're not your emperor, right? That the reality, you are the emperor here, okay? This is you, but you don't recognize it because you've put so much, you've put this person on such a pedestal that you believe that they're the emperor, but they're not. They're far from it, okay? They're not even able to offer you the Knight of Cups. So they're far removed from the emperor. That's what you need to realize. You need to change your perception on this, right? So to clarify judgment here, you have the Queen of Pentacles, so that's earth energy, and you also have the Eight of Wands, right? So more fire. So it could be that there's someone that's going to come in and try and help you. It could be someone who you have a very strong family tie to, a mother figure, an older sister, a cousin, a very close friend. You could be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. There's someone who has a very abundant, naturally nurturing quality about them. They may be very empathic, or they may be very good at listening, or they have very good emotional intelligence. They know what you've been going through, and they want to help you, right? They want to give you a way out, or they may want to give you that opportunity to get what it is that you want. You know, there may be another person coming in the saying, listen, this person doesn't see you for who you are, but I do. You know, I want to give you what you want. I want to give you what you need. You know, I can give you so much more than just the love you're looking for. I can give you a life. You know, I can build a future with you, right? And just because it's a queen doesn't mean that the person's female. This is just the divine feminine is coming through strongly at this time for this person. They want to protect and nurture you, right? Particularly, as I said, if you are in an abusive relationship. This person wants to be your way out, right? Because they see how much shit you've been taking from this person, all the hits, and how much carnage it's caused. You know, particularly how it's affected you and how you view yourself, right? So they want to offer you a way out. But it all depends on what you choose or how you approach this. For some of you, where it's a case of your work situation, your career that you're trying to build, someone's willing to give you a chance here. They see what you're trying to do. They see your potential. And they want to offer you a chance to really build towards something. But you have to be aware that, you know, opportunities, there are plenty of opportunities. However, not all of them are going to be the right ones for you. So it's using your discernment to know which one is going to be in your best interest. Because it may be that there's more than one person that will offer you an opportunity here. But there's going to be one that shines out the most, that stands out the most. Because that's the one that's going to be more aligned to where it is you want to be. So it's using your discernment to spot which opportunity is for you and which one isn't, right? So to clarify the Seven of Swords in reverse here, we have King of Cups in reverse, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, water energy here. We also have, I believe that's Judgment in reverse, and we also have the Hanged Man in reverse. So you see how we're getting a lot of mirror opposites, you know, in the upright and in the reverse, like with the Sun and with Judgment, okay? So it really is talking about, it all depends on you, right? Which path you take will have a very specific outcome. So if you choose not to stand in your truth, to, you know, to stand your ground, to go after what it is that you truly want, you're not going to get the abundance, you're not going to get the joy, you're not going to get the self-confidence, the self-worth, and the self-love that you deserve at this time, Sagittarius, okay? Because whoever you're dealing with, if you are dealing with someone in a romantic sense, they're not able to give you any of that, you know? They're not helping you to move towards that space. So you really need to change your perception on this person. For those of you where you're projecting, you need to change your perception on yourself, okay? Because you don't believe that you can give yourself this emotional grounding, right? This emotional abundance, but in a balanced way, so that it has the longevity, right? But it's not true. You do have what it takes to be the king, okay? And sometimes the thing is about the king, the main difference between the king and the queen is that the king knows when to become more emotionally neutral. He knows how to neutralize its energy, right? So that he's not just overbearing or overflowing like the queen is sometimes, okay? It's someone who's able to, you know, reduce the supply, okay? And you don't feel like you can do that, right? Because you feel so tied to this situation or this person. You don't feel like you're able to control your emotions. You don't feel like you're able to close the tap, you know, not even a little bit, but it's not true. You can. It just requires a different perception. It requires looking at things from a new lens. It requires the introspective work so that you can see things differently. And once you see things differently, you can start to change the outcome, right? You can move differently towards this person, this circumstance, right? Same applies with what it is that you're trying to create. If it's something to do with your dreams, a goal, a vision, right? You need to change your perspective. You need to change your perspective to align with the vision, right? So next you have, with the Five of Pentacles here, you have the Knight of Cups. So you see again, we had this in reverse here, the second card in, and now we have it in the upright. So you see how there is a clear karmic cycle being played out here. There is a lesson that's coming in very strong for you this time, Sagittarius. And the ball is truly in your court, okay? That, yeah, where you're feeling lack, where you're feeling neglected, where you're feeling cut off, right? There is someone here that wants to give you this opportunity, right? Whether it's in your work, whether it's in love, or whether it's just to help you see your own potential, right? Someone here wants to give you something that's going to help you feel emotionally abundant. It's going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled. It's going to make you feel loved, right? It's going to make you feel real love, okay? Not whatever it is that this person is trying to sell you, or whatever it is you think love is. This is the real deal, okay? And it's just there as well. That's the crazy thing about it, is while you're in the space of, oh, no one cares about me, no one loves me, oh, I'm treated so badly, I hate myself, I can't do this, you know, all of this negative bullshit, you have someone here that's willing to give you just that, okay? So that's what you need to be aware of. Again, change of perception. Applies also in terms of your dreams, okay? Your career, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. There is someone that sees your potential, right? But you have to see it in yourself first. That's the important thing here. And then finally, where you've got the Strength card here, Leo energy again, you have the Moon in reverse, so Pisces, also Cancer energy, and then you have Six of Cups in reverse, more water, okay? So again, you're really being called to not hide your feelings at this time, to bring them to the surface, to allow yourself to feel, right? Where you're trying to block this pain here, you're being asked to open up and be vulnerable. Show what it is that you're feeling. Embrace it, accept it. Because once you come into a place of acceptance, then you can heal it, then you can take action, right? But if you're in denial and you're choosing to turn a blind eye to it, that cannot happen. So you're being asked to bring that to the surface, to purge it, right? Because you're not getting what it is that you want. You're not getting an opportunity to express and receive the love that you wish to have, right? And you're not being given an opportunity to really throw yourself into this passion project or this vision, right? Because you're only coming from a space of lack. You're only coming from a space of, I don't have what it takes, I'm not good enough, or life is working against me. You need to change that. Once you change that and see things more clearly and address what could be actually blocking you at this time, then you can start working on it. Okay? And while it's not going to be easy, of course, none of it, however this resonates, none of it's going to be easy for you guys. It's not beyond you. That's the important thing to know. It's not beyond your reach to change this, right? You have everything you need. You just don't realize it. So I'm just going to pull some last parting advice for you here. So again, you've got Queen of Cups energy. So we've got another pair, right? So I feel like there is your soul calling, whatever it is you feel driven to do, this passion project, this dream that you have, this vision, right? The universe is saying, yes, it's here. It's just around the corner. But you have to change how you're looking at it. You have to move away from toxic cycles, toxic perceptions, toxic people, circumstances. You have to remove yourself from all of that, do the inner work, and move towards the energy that's actually aligned with what it is you're trying to achieve, because it's here, right? Also, there is someone, I feel like there really is, for a lot of you, there is someone that's trying to come in and give you everything you ever wanted. Could be, I mean, there's a lot of water here. We have the Queen of Cups, so it could be that they're even a water sign, you know, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, as I said before. Or they've got a lot of water in their chart, or they're simply a very emotionally available person. They have so much love to give, but they also have so much to teach you as well in terms of how to manage those emotions, because you know, even though they may be coming up as the Queen of Cups, so they're able to give it abundantly, with the King of Cups in reverse, it may be where you're lacking to find that balance and know when to, you know, kind of not allow it to go overboard and overflow to the point where you can start drowning the connection, this person may know how to do just that and may help you come into a space of where you learn how to do that, okay? And that really gives you the opportunity to show what it is that you have to offer in a relationship, okay? So yeah, with the Nine of Pentacles, this is talking about, you know, abundance. This is literally getting your wish fulfillment. This is, you know, leading up to the happy ending, right? So it's just around the corner. Your wish is my command, is what the universe is saying, whatever format that comes in. And Five of Cups in reverse, you know, where you've been feeling that lack, you know, and not realizing how much is available to you. When you operate from that space, that will change. You'll start to see opportunity, you'll start to see abundance, you'll start to see, you know, your blessings, like how much you truly have, what is actually available to you, you know, the love that's trying to come in, where you're so focused on the love that you're not gaining currently, right? So it's going to turn all of that around. So that's hugely positive. While this is, you know, a difficult read to navigate initially, and I understand it does deal with some heavy themes for you, some of you guys, there is a beautiful, you know, beginning on the horizon. There is a real turnaround. Like, here's a complete 180 of your circumstances currently, Sagittarius. So if you can work on this energy here, right, with the obsession and the blinded to pain and all the, you know, devil energy in terms of self-doubt, you know, lack of self-worth, codependency, you know, enabling, all of this stuff, right? If you can just nip that in the bud and truly see your true value, your worth, what it is that you're so close to actually obtaining, it's unbelievable. It will completely change your life, right? You will see things from a different perspective. You will gain so much insight, right? And you'll actually be aligning with people who are far more in tune with what it is that you truly want, the kind of energy you want to have in your life. So it's not to be taken for granted, you know. So I hope this is helpful for someone out there. I really feel like someone needed to hear this. And I really hope, well, I know the message will get out to them in some way, you know. So I really hope for the rest of you guys that this was helpful in some way also. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do hit the like button if you enjoyed it or found it useful. Do subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll be doing your January 2020 reading in just a couple of days time probably. So yeah, stay tuned for that.